What's a harsh reality that everybody needs to hear?
Before we continue with the video, please hit a subscribe, likes, and comments to make sure you don't miss our next video.
Number 25. Just because you go out of your way for people, it doesn't mean they will do the same for you. For those calling me out saying I shouldn't expect anything back or I'm selfish that I don't go out of my way to help others without expecting anything in return, that's not what my comment said. All I'm saying is, be careful who you drop everything for.
I've just recently learned this lesson. Having a bit of a cancer scare and told 2 friends last week, both which completely ignored it and continued to talk about themselves. I've seen them through breakups and family issues, and I couldn't even get a damn that sucks. It's really fucked with me. Update months after removal and still no results. Canadian, Ontario, healthcare fucks.
Number 24. You don't have as many friends or family as you think. I have a chronic illness, and the number of people who bailed on me during my hardest times only to pop up, surprised I was upset with them, once I started healing is truly disgusting. You've got a core few. Nurture those relationships like your life depends on it. Mine does.
Number 23. I remember reading one of those "This is my life" articles in a magazine about 20 years ago. It was about a woman who was in a fairly fresh relationship when her boyfriend became paralyzed. Despite not being in love with him, she stayed by his side to take care of him, giving her entire life up to do so, while every one of their mutual friends basically faded into the background. About 2 years later, she realized that she and her boyfriend were basically only still together due to him now being disabled. Despite a ton of guilt, she did the right thing and broke up with him. When she later ran into those same friends of theirs, they were incredibly unfriendly to her, treating her coldly because she had abandoned her boyfriend when he needed her. Edit. She also commented how much that hurt considering she had stayed and they'd gone AWOL, yet they were still treating her like a monster. I was probably about 19 when I read this and, even at that age, the total lack of self-awareness those people apparently had completely dumbfounded me and still does.
Number 22. Not everything is a lesson, Ryan. Sometimes you just fail.
Okay, this caught me off guard. Is this a simulation?
It's a quote from The Office.
Number 21. Youth is wasted on the young. Before you know it, you're 40 to 50 wondering where the years went. Stop giving a what people think about you. Ask him, her out. Start that business and jack in the job you hate. Tell your family you love them even if you're in a feud with them, etc.
Number 20. For most of us, work is a business transaction. You're trading your time for money. Your employer isn't your friend, father, or mother. They owe you what they promised to give you in exchange for your time. That's it. If your work isn't fulfilling or making you happy, either spend your free time making yourself happy or work somewhere else. The few people who live in wealthiest countries in the world still struggle to find happiness. Stop wanting what other people have because it looks like it makes them happy. They aren't any happier or better than you because they have things. Finally, while these facts suck for most of us, the sooner you internalize them and shift your values, the better you will be.
Number 19. You don't deserve anything. You don't deserve happiness, love, health, romance. But you also don't deserve pain, sadness, loneliness, etc. You just exist. Hate when people say I deserve to be happy, or a hot rich partner. Like seriously, why do you deserve anything? What did you do?
Number 18. It doesn't matter how much you recycle, how many solar panels you install, or how little meat you eat, climate change is coming. We keep screaming past tipping points. We're well beyond the point of reversing the effects of climate change by simply stopping our bad behaviors. The only way to make our planet habitable for the next 1,000 years is through active measures like carbon capture and increasing albedo. We need technology to get things back to what they would ideally be. There is no other choice.
Number 17. No one cares. And I mean that in a good way. No one really cares if you don't look your best today. No one cares if you said the wrong thing, people will forget and not hold it against you. No one cares what type of car you drive or if you can't afford the newest iPhone. Also, to the parents out there, no one really cares to hear your stories about your kids.
Number 16. You cannot threaten, guilt trip, force someone to love you. What you can do is, let them know exactly how you feel, egos and walls down, and allow them to decide to be with you, or not. Whichever way it is, truth will definitely set you free from that attachment. Let them know and then let them go.
Number 15. Turning your passion into a career is a terrible idea. Relying on something you love to pay the bills will suck the joy out of it. Your passion should be a hobby, or at most a side gig. Your career should be something you're more or less apathetic to. Something you don't love but don't hate. Something you can grind out daily without getting emotionally invested.
Number 14. The worst people are the best person to someone. They have done something good for someone. The best people are the worst to someone. They have done something bad for someone. People are dichotomous. They are gray. You can hate and love and fear the same person at the same time. Sometimes death is a kindness, but at the same time everyone dies alone. Death is scary, and no matter how bad you feel, there is always something good. It may be something small, a pretty color, a nice texture, a good smell, or a sweet note. And on a lighter note, toast always falls jelly down.
Number 13. You need to work on yourself. Waking up early and being intentional about working on body, mind, and soul will not only change your life but those around you. Also, take care of yourself so your loved ones won't have to. This was a hard lesson for me to learn these past few weeks. I've literally been working myself to death to build a future for my family. Blood pressure was 186/118, and I work out and eat healthy daily. My fiancée, she's a nurse, made the comment along the lines of, "If you have a stroke, not only can you not provide for us, but we'll have to work extra to make up your loss of income and take care of you." Essentially, working myself to death for my family's future comfort would have effectively destroyed the future I was working for. Now I turn off after 12 hours on the clock and take one day off a week and my BP is back to normal.
Number 12. The probability of you making it as a professional gamer/streamer/YouTuber isn't worth quitting your job. You have a higher chance of getting hit by a car or winning $1 million lottery. Not saying give up, but be realistic. Keep a job that'll pay the bills while you try.
Number 11. Your life can be changed forever in the blink of an eye. You have to deal with it or die. I'm 62. I went to run errands one day with my beautiful wife of 42 years, and I came home 2 hours later a widower. She died of a massive heart attack in the passenger seat. That was about 13 months ago. It's been hard, but I'm still here thanks to some wonderful people in my life.
Number 10. It won't just happen. I spent a lot of my early 20s being sad and defeatist, feeling sorry for myself. I always coped with this by telling myself that I'd make something of myself eventually, meet a woman eventually, and be happy eventually. The truth is, eventually doesn't come if you don't make it come. Improvement has to be proactive. You can end up 40 years old, living with your parents, playing video games all day, and with no motivation. Nothing will prevent that from happening other than you.
Number 9. First, many people overcomplicate their lives because overlooking what they have, they want for more or something different. If you have your health, a roof over your head, and food in the fridge, you have a good life. Second, success is a hairy concept. Is it wealth and status, or is it living a life you are happy with that is consistent with your principles? I think it is the latter, but even with the latter, you will still have bills to pay. Even if wealth is not a primary motivator, having money is still quite important. Although hard work does not guarantee that money will become immaterial, it does increase the chances of a comfortable life during which you will be more free to pursue what you truly want to do with your time. And you will have to work hard to earn money.
Number 8. The world owes you nothing. No one cares about your sexual preference and sexual identity. You do not get special preference because you have pronouns, are black, white p.r, Indian, Asian, etc. Like girls, boys, cats, or dogs. No one cares if you get offended easily or someone hurt your feelings. Get over it.
Number 7. Here comes some brutality that a lot of people, especially the chronically online people, aren't gonna like one bit. You weren't abused every single time someone was less than nice to you. Not everyone who's self-centered and emotionally immature is a narcissist. Not everyone who lacks social skills and/or has quirks and sensory issues is autistic. Your personal triggers are valid, but that doesn't mean everyone is responsible for them. Pastel memes on Instagram are mostly telling you absolute bullshit. Not everyone who you don't like / is rude has a mental issues. Some people are just assholes, and some people just don't match your vibe. That's normal, the assholes suck, but you'll come across them no matter what. I'm a huge mental health advocate and have GAD, depression and ADHD myself, but people these days are very quick to label everything / everyone. Mental illnesses are very real, but they're not applicable in every situation. Nor are they an excuse to act like shit.
Number 6. Life is not automatically easier just because you're a good person. Reply. Expecting life to treat you well because you are good is like expecting the bull not to charge at you because you are vegetarian. I find the inverse is usually true. Having a moral compass and being a good person usually means you have a line in the sand somewhere, and there will always be someone who is willing to go further than you, undercut you, or outcompete you.
Number 5. Sometimes you're the bad guy.
Number 4. This one is both harsh and comforting. People don't think about you as much as you think they do. That means that your feelings might be ignored or not considered. People will forget things about you and might not remember things you've done together that were very memorable for you. That can be hard to realize. On the other hand, they probably don't remember that embarrassing thing you did in high school, or they don't care about it. They notice patterns of behavior, more than occasional bad days that you have. So those times you feel bad about being off with someone, they probably don't think about them, unless they become frequent. Personally, I find that comforting.
Number 3. Just because someone is your family doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart.
Number 2. I thought I'd be happy when I graduated college, or when I got my first apartment, or when I bought my first home. Don't expect happiness to be at the finish line. Happiness comes from yourself in the now. Enjoy the process.
Number 1. It's a Star Trek reference, but it's a very realistic one. It is possible to make no mistake and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Sometimes you need to accept you did everything within your power right, and it still went bad. And remember that this isn't something to beat yourself up over. These things happen.
Thank you for watching. If you like to watch more of these videos, please leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share to your friends and family. I'll see you in the next video.